Spike's Car Radio starts now.
I've checked it. It's good. We're recording.
This is being recorded right now.
Yes. Well, look.
Because the listeners...
You hear that?
Yes. The listeners don't want us to mess this up. You and I tend to mess this up when we do this by ourselves.
Have we messed it up more than once?
Yeah,
we did?
have. Yeah.
Okay. Are they both my fault?
No, neither were your... You said put the headphones on last time, and I didn't, and that was my fault.
Okay.
I don't blame you.
Now we have headphones, and now we have checked the equipment. We've restarted all the equipment.
And we have a show.
Yeah.
We're waiting on a cup of coffee.
Now we're wearing headphones. Adam will bring in a cup of coffee when it is ready.
I've already started
it's nice to have a team.
Yeah, it's good.
Do I get to request this? I requested Salisbury Hill by Peter Gabriel last time, which you did open the show with.
You want to play that right now?
I mean, if that's going to be my song, I'll take it.
Okay, here we go. So that's your song. It's usually a good driving song.
Yeah,
we do that.
I told you the story of that song, right?
No.
When I got my Aston Martin Vanquish 2006, it has a 6-disc changer in it. Mm-hmm. I burned a CD, a driving CD in 06, and that is track 1 on my driving mix. And that CD has been in disc 1 of the 6-disc changer for 17 years. Now it's never come out of the changer. Matter of fact, it's the only CD that's ever been.
So it's the song that goes along with it.
When I get in that car and go drive it, and I go to disc 1, track 1, it's there.
Right. You sure we're recording?
Fucking, you are paranoid.
It just sounds a little muffled in these headphones. It just sounds...
headphone volume and the recording volume are not the same. Do you want me to go over there and turn your headphones up louder?
No, I believe you.
Okay.
I know you and I tend to do great shows together, and I just want to make sure it's there.
I promise it
sounded. We recorded it on an iPad, right?
Yeah, it was on the microphone on the thing
and
here.
People still listened.
Yeah, and they said, given the circumstances, that is a passable recording.
All of this money, and you could just do it on an iPad.
Yeah, right. I mean, I shoot my videos on iPhones all the time.
Well, there you go. Welcome to Spike's Car Radio, listeners. We're here with Matt Farah, one of the OGs of Spike's Car Radio. Even before there was a Spike's Car Radio, you and I were together on Car Matchmaker and doing stuff for the now defunct Esquire network.
Yeah, and it was just a table on Bill's porch for a while before it was recorded.
Yeah, that's right. I can't remember when we met. When was the first time we actually met?
I think we met maybe once or twice briefly, but it was
where?
the Esquire. I think maybe at Bill's, but the Esquire gig was really the first.
Yeah.
You're together now. You're doing a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I recommended you for that job.
I appreciate it.
They did not know who you were, but they didn't know much.
That's a good,
Which is why they hired me.
And now they're gone. And
now they're gone.
And we're still here.
And what a viable app that would still be if we could reboot that whole network.
Yeah.
Just all guy stuff.
Yeah.
We're still kind of doing a version of it right now, you and I, with our podcast.
And their like written content is still quite good.
It's a fine network.
Yeah.
I mean,
it had a chance.
I would rather watch that stuff than, I don't know, everything on Paramount.
I watched this thing last night that's called It was about this little town in Australia where there was 11 people living in this town.
Yeah.
In the northern territories in Australia.
This is a show.
It's a documentary. Mm-hmm. And one person, it's not fictional, and one person goes missing. And so like the other 10 people are the suspects.
Oh, that's great.
And it's like, it starts off being like, oh yeah, it's a friendly little town. And then it's like, within a half hour, it's like, everybody hates each other actually under the surface, and there's like mad beefs all over the place.
There's so much murder in entertainment right now. It's really kind of annoying. Anytime I see a murder, I don't watch it. Any scripted, unscripted. But that sounds good. I'm watching the Gotti doc on Netflix.
Is it worth my time?
It's fun. The guys who made it made some other doc that everybody likes. I can't remember if it's the Cats doc. I don't recall. But they have a fun way of, making beautifully cinematic shots of our subjects as they're talking rather than this shot. I'm looking at you up. They put them in a car, an alley, and do a little pan to the right, some nice lighting.
The McMillions doc was like that, about the McDonald's Monopoly scam, which is an awesome
that's
one.
the trick. This one's 3-episode arc, and it's essentially like the premise is who's going to get Gotti first? Is it going to be the feds? Is it going to be the state, the city? And there are some hilarious moments in it. I mean, I was in New York, I think, around that time, and there were funny things that I did not know, like the DA calling out an informant for the FBI in court that was sitting next to John Gotti. He said, "Oh, and that guy is an informant for the FBI." And Gotti just looks to his right.
No way.
Yeah.
Is there footage of that?
There were no cameras, but there was a drawing of it. But they have the woman who is the prosecutor.
Yeah.
And she goes, did I feel bad about it? No. And I'm just kind of synopsizing what she said. She goes, he was involved with some of the most horrible things that the mafia had ever done. So did I feel bad knowing that he's going to get killed? I do not. And I'm just like,
That's
holy
hilarious.
shit. But then her other massive miscalculation after her trial, which she ends up losing, is she has an informant who says, look, every day after your trial, you're putting your jury members in town cars, identical town cars, and driving them back to their houses. Gotti and the mafia, they're going to follow him.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, you've seen too many movies. Well, no, apparently not. Because one of those jurors ends up getting paid off $60,000, and Gotti goes free and becomes a star in New York City. So
Gotti had a vacation home about a block and a half from where my wife grew up. In Long Beach, New York. It was very nice.
There are a lot of mafia guys who very proudly proclaim their violence, which, used to be kind of cool. You know
now
what I mean?
It's like,
now it's just like, hey, we kill people. That's what I did. I was just, we beat people up, but we cut them up. That's what I do.
Well, it's fun when it's like Scorsese is directing Joe Pesci saying that. It's another one. It's like just a guy. Yeah.
But lots of cool cars. You see New York in the 80s. Pretty nice.
For sure.
And the town cars back from the jury were just hilarious. Just hilarious. How could you not know that at that point?
Yeah. You've seen too many movies. The movies are written about this in defendant, sir.
What a thought.
Yeah. So what do you got on your little notes there?
I've got no notes for you. You're easy.
You've got a pretty short page.
Here's what I want to know first.
Okay.
What's going on with Matt Farah? You and I have not spoken. We don't get together at Bill's every Sunday, so I don't get updates.
Sucks.
Bill's at the farmer's market.
The cookies are good.
We'll see him this weekend. Jerry's performing downtown with Jim Gaffigan.
Is he really?
Bill's going to come. Yeah, they're doing a little collab together.
Really?
I guess it's big in comedy. Bill will be there. I'm bringing him by.
Is he going to go? Is he going to like bring him on stage, do a whole thing?
That would be weird. What would Bill do on stage?
I don't know. Stand there very awkwardly.
I got him backstage, and that's about as far as we'll let him go.
I mean, he got backstage. I didn't even get an invite. I didn't even know this gig was happening until today.
Not surprisingly, everybody who hears these guys are in L.A., it gets crazy. Right.
I saw Jerry in L.A. the last time he did a big show at the Pantages or whatever it was.
That's right.
The big theater?
Yeah, he'll be back.
But it was the material that became the special, the 23 Hours to Kill special.
Yeah.
Crushed.
This is the Kia Forum, so it's very big. Oh, here comes the coffee.
Thank you, Adam. Coffee and, in a WCCS branded mug and everything.
Look at that.
Thanks,
Where
bro.
is the Kia Forum?
It's the Forum.
Downtown?
It's where the fucking Lakers played.
Oh,
it's right over
here.
here. No, it's next to the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Near my house.
Can I drive my GT4 RS there and feel okay about it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah. You're going to park in a parking lot with staff and shit.
Then I'll do that.
Yeah, you're not going to just randomly park on the street.
Yes.
He's doing it like, is it the theater? Is he doing the whole Kia Forum? Again, he's doing an arena?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like saying that I'm shocked
They
it's
are.
Jerry, but like that's
Yeah.
that's a fucking huge venue.
No, usually he'll play smaller clubs. I think many comedians prefer smaller clubs.
Yeah,
but there's
unless they need the money. And
but they're blowing. There seems to be this trend where comedians let their level are blowing things up. Like,
Sure.
I think Leno just told me he did a gig with Craig Ferguson, and Chris Rock was out there with Chappelle. And
I saw Bert Kreischer in an arena a couple months ago.
yeah,
Crushed.
It's just fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've never known Jerry to do arenas. It's cool.
Yeah, me neither. I've seen him do big. I saw him do the Greek once
Yeah.
for a fundraiser for
Yeah.
Will Ferrell.
What an
and-
awesome venue.
Yeah.
Greek theater rules.
Well, it was fun to watch, and it was a charity event, so there's not too much emphasis on the comedy. It was fun to watch this kind of half-assed comedy go up there, and then this pro go up and just bat the audience to attention with laughs. It really was cool. I had not seen that before from him, the way the laugh was kind of coming back. But this will be another interesting thing. Like,
Yeah, it's a huge venue.
well, sound and reaction to laughs, which is part of any comedian's act, it gets different the bigger the audience is, right?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get hundreds of thousands of people. It takes a minute for the joke to land. The laugh comes back in a different direction, and that
Yeah.
could throw people off. I don't know.
Totally.
I'm kind of excited about it.
I went to that Power Trip Festival a couple weeks ago, the metal festival out in Indio where Coachella is.
Yeah.
And I was absolutely amazed at how they were able to get the sound so good, kind of no matter where you were. It was really
Right,
one of the
right.
more like impressive technical
Yeah.
things I've seen.
It's definitely getting
in
better.
Sound, yeah.
I was
It's really good.
I was at the Hollywood Bowl and called them up and I said we should be doing Hollywood Bowl things. Let's do a big event for the movie in the spring and let's do comedy outside, which you normally wouldn't do. But with the big screens and like
Yeah.
you're saying, the right sound,
Yeah,
it's
good.
It works.
I saw Coldplay a few weeks ago at the Hollywood Bowl. Not a huge Coldplay fan, but my friend took me.
They were
and
at the bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I missed that.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was the Rose Bowl.
They're at the
I
Rose
apologize.
Bowl.
That was the
Yes,
Rose Bowl.
I've done
My
that.
bad.
I have done that.
And
It's hard to get to.
a terribly run facility,
Yes.
but the production design of the show was incredible.
We had a great time there. I took my kids there and my wife.
You would have
It
enjoyed
was
this
a Herculean
strategy.
effort, though, to get into that
Well,
place.
so this is the move, right? My friend who took me, who was like a Coldplay nut, like I'm a Pearl Jam nut, we met in downtown Pasadena at the parking garage.
Right.
And he owns this company called Jackrabbit Bikes, which are these mini electric bikes. Like imagine a 2/3 scale BMX. No pedals, all throttle. And they have like 11 or 12 mile ranges. And they're not fast, but they fold up real compact.
Right.
And he had 4 of them in the trunk of his car.
Wow.
So he unfolds these 4 things, and we just like ride the 3 miles past all these crowds into the Rose Bowl.
that's fantastic.
And then we checked him at the stroller check, which is the move. And then we rode him back to town. That helped.
The stroller check took him?
Yeah.
That's the only way to get in there.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's
No, it
why.
was a shit show. Otherwise, you'd have to walk 2.5
That's
miles.
why I didn't go.
Yeah.
It's why I don't go to those events there anymore unless I know there's not going to be that traffic. It was a memorably difficult time to get to the show.
It was
and
brutal.
And you're just like, I'm paying all this money for these seats, and then I have to go through that.
We
I'm
went
not
to
doing
see
it.
Ed Sheeran at SoFi Stadium, the
Yeah.
football stadium, and they charged us $125 to park. That's
Don't get me going.
pretty nuts. And then it took us almost 2 hours to leave the parking lot. It was brutal.
I picked up
Ed Sheeran was good, though.
Here's a funny things are expensive observation I made. It's not even that funny. It's just really disappointing. You know when you're in a supermarket and there are those last minute items they put by the register, or there's 1 or 2 things you buy every run that you just go, oh, these crackers look
Sure.
good. I think I'm going to do that. The last couple days, as I pick up these crackers, there was like 6 crackers, $12. Everything was over every one of those little tiny things.
Yeah.
Oh, some cut pineapple, a little bowl of cut pineapple, $12.
You think they're marking them up for that last minute buy because you're just not paying attention by then?
I thought we had reached peak grocery price, but no.
No.
Things are every item in my grocery stores is $12, no matter how small.
The gouge is getting gougier, for sure.
Gougier.
Yeah, gougier.
And in this one
Gougier.
particular supermarket, I know for a fact, it's a car guy who owns it, but he owns the place. He owns it.
Yeah.
He's not leasing. There's no real, he didn't need to.
No one's squeezing him.
He's squeezing him. Yeah, it's crazy. The dog groomer squeezed me today. Again, she jumped $10 out of nowhere. And I'm like, wait, was it always that expensive? And I looked back on my little Venmo.
Yeah.
It was like 3 weeks ago. It was this price.
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks before that, it was that price. She just keeps going boom, boom, boom. How much can these people take?
You know who's not raising their prices? Westside Collector Car Storage. Doing it for you people.
That's our first sponsor.
Keeping our prices fair and friendly.
All right, we're going to talk about cars in a minute. But first,
Okay.
let's talk about Roan. Talk about the pains of finding something to wear that's not uncomfortable, tight, and it's your size, that's easy to put together. Roan is the place for you. The hassle of changing clothes for different activities. You commute, and then everything's all wrinkled. Well, guess what? I was on Jay Leno's Garage, and I wore Roan, and I'll tell you why. Because I knew I would be comfortable in the car when we drove and shoot. I knew I would look good when I was standing on the set, and I knew it would be easy. I could come home, and I could just wash everything. I didn't have to bring it to the dry cleaner. How about that?
Shazam!
I love Roan so much. They're sending me more stuff. I said, hey, I'm going to Jerry's show. Can you send me more? We're sending it.
Do they have things that are fancy out on the town?
I wore it at the Pebble Beach Concours.
Oh.
Remember I had a blazer, a shirt, and pants? I'm telling you, you take the pictures, you look perfect, you feel like you're in pajamas. There's two people doing that. There's Roan and Bruno Cucinelli. Is that how you pronounce his name?
I believe so, yeah.
Bruno charges $10,000 a blazer.
Yeah.
Roan will get you looking good. Their focus is the commuter stuff, the what we wear to work, and I'm telling you guys, this is my favorite new sponsor. You got to check them out. Go check out the Commuter Collection.
Get at me, Roan. I need some of this love on my podcast,
Yeah.
too.
Head to roan.com/Spike911. Use promo code Spike911. You're going to get 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off your entire order when you head to roan.com/Spike911 and use code Spike911. Can't recommend them enough. You're going to get 20% off. All right. What's the latest?
Cars.
What's going on? What have you driven? You're the editor at large at Road and Track.
Yeah, we
Tell
did.
us a story.
We just put out the Performance Electric Vehicle of the Year story today, which I
Snooze
participated
alert.
in. Right. So nobody wants to talk about that. Cool.
Just tell us what it was.
There was an over 100,000 and under 100,000 category.
Okay.
Over 100K was Taycan Turbo S.
Okay.
Under 100K was the Kia EV6 GT.
Fantastic.
Did you drive one?
No, I want to, but every time I see one, I stop the driver and they love it.
It looks great. The dynamics of it are superb.
Wow.
It has really, really good. The way it feels to drive is so dialed in and connected. It's much more Taycan than what you would expect from Kia. It's $62,000 and 570 horsepower.
So many people are buying them. I'm seeing them all over
they
the place.
rip.
Let me ask you a question. I had read, and I don't even know if this is true, though, as you're driving it, you turn the radio on. Suddenly that number goes down, how many miles you have left. You turn the AC on, it starts dipping. Like, it's very reactive to things you're turning on and off in a car, which I don't like.
I get one for a week in 2 weeks, so I can come back to you on that. I know that the range is not very good. When you have these high-performance cars with all-wheel drive, a lot of times, and in this case, and the Mach-E GT as well, the range isn't great. And so, there's that.
Your lease must be coming up on that car.
Yeah, April. I've had.
What's the plan?
Debate. The debate goes on. We may go to a plug-in hybrid. I really liked the Volvo XC60 Recharge, which has like 35 miles of electric range and then a turbo 4 gas engine. I really like the wool interior. It has an optional wool interior that I'm in love with. It's just so great.
You won't be bugged by the fact that you're plugging it in every day or just recharging it when you drive, I guess?
I'd rather not plug in a car every day.
Right.
If it was my car for me to drive,
right,
I would probably stick it out with another EV.
Right.
But 90% of the time, it's my wife's car.
I see.
And the couple of times that my wife has had to travel somewhere and use the public charging network, it has been such a disaster for her. There's always been some kind of a problem.
Isn't Volvo making a deal with Tesla?
I don't know about Volvo. I haven't looked into it because with a hybrid, you don't need to use the public charging network.
But I'm just saying.
If
there were an electric...
Ford is.
Just about everybody.
A lot of people are.
Yeah.
And so if I was going to get another EV, I do like the Ford. It's really nice. I'd get another one. I'm interested maybe in the Acura EV, the Acura ZDX that's coming out that looks kind of cool. There is a benefit to me to getting a new car, like something that has just come out.
Right.
Like for content. Like my Mach-E videos, ongoing ownership, have actually knocked a substantial dent in the lease payments. You know, the revenue from those videos.
I see.
So if I get a car, if I just get another Mach-E, that like kind of eliminates the opportunity to make content with that car versus if I get something that's new for this model year. So my first choice is something that's new for this model year. I really wanted an electric Macan, but it looks like the timing won't work out on that.
When is that coming out?
Probably not till next year, like for model year 2025. Although I've seen a couple prototypes on the road and they look awesome.
What do you chalk up this electric car sort of fade that these cars are stacking up on the dealerships?
Yeah, well, a couple things. One, the interest rates mean that new car purchases are slowing down in general, right? Also, I think that the automakers believed that if they could just build an infinite amount of electric cars, that there is infinite demand. And I don't think that's the case. I think there's a lot of people that don't want to turn over to an electric car yet. Maybe they don't have somewhere to charge it. Maybe they don't have they don't trust it. Maybe they don't, maybe they don't want to pay for an expensive EV, if it doesn't suit their lifestyle. There's a lot of reasons that there's a core group of people that for whom it doesn't work for, and not all of them are like, it's not like culture war bullshit. Although for some of them it might be, but I think that there is a finite amount of people that are comfortable buying a new EV today with today's infrastructure and today's crop of cars, and the automakers are all going to go 100% EV, but I don't know if the customers want that right now. Certainly not, and maybe not in a time when we have very high interest rates. So car loans are really expensive.
And everybody has their electric car that wants one at this point.
A lot of people do.
Yeah,
a lot of people do, and in some cases, they're willing to hold them for a little longer than just a lease or whatever. But I like having an electric car, at least one of my 8 cars, my everyday car. I like it. And if I have to deal with the public charging network and it's frustrating and I have problems, I can turn that into content. But when my wife has to deal with it and is pseudo-stranded 100 miles from home or, freaking out because she can't get the car to charge or whatever, that's a level of stress that we don't really need in our life. And I think with hybrids, even though, you have to plug it in every day instead of once a week like I do now, you can get almost all of those benefits of decarbonization and not having tailpipe emissions for most driving and not use gas for most driving, but then exit from that public charge network system when you need to go to Vegas or San Francisco or San Diego or somewhere a little further. You just put gas in the car that one time and you're fine, I got both my parents. My dad had a Cayenne.
Right.
My mom had a Q5.
Right.
And I got both of them to trade in their cars for the plug-in hybrid versions of the same cars.
Right.
And they are super, super stoked.
I know.
Every week I talk to my dad. I haven't used gas in a month. He's like super
There's
stoked.
There's still a lot of folks that don't even know how these things work.
Well, it took him like a month to figure out what mode to have it in and this kind of stuff.
Getting back to the charging network, it's well documented that this charging network isn't good.
Right.
Is it somebody? Where's the charging network czar who's like,
Yeah.
we've been talking about Johnny Lieberman has been posting about it for a year now. Yeah, we get it. Who's fixing it? Is anybody stepping forward going, I got this, let me remake it and make it work?
Yeah, I don't think...
Is Electrify America a U.S. government?
It's a Volkswagen subsidiary.
It's a But why?
Why is that? Because of
No,
Dieselgate.
why aren't they fixing it?
Because right now...
Because it seems like the problems are always, hey, it's not taking my credit card.
Yeah.
That
They're
seems
stupid problems. They're not like...
easy to fix stupid problems.
Yes. The problem is rarely getting the electricity into the car.
Right.
It's getting the credit card processing to work, or stupid customer service stuff like not updating the app that the charger's down for maintenance. It's like basic shit.
Or Tesla, hey, Tesla does this right.
Yeah.
Why don't we copy what they do,
So-
which is you don't put a credit card in. You just plug your car in and it knows you and you have an account set up and it's done.
So there is a system like that. So the thing with Tesla charging is, and people know Matt hates Tesla. Listen, the Tesla charging network is very good, right?
Yeah.
Part of the reason it's very good, a very big part of the reason, is that it only, at least as of today, has to talk to Teslas.
Right.
Right? As it's Apple iOS. Why do you plug your computer into your MacBook or your phone into your MacBook and it just recognizes everything?
Yes.
Because it's all one ecosystem. Okay. That is a big reason that is. They also, because the chargers are Tesla branded chargers and the cars are Tesla branded cars, the customers associate those with being the same thing. Mm-hmm. So they have, to their credit, allocated an unbelievable amount of resources to making those, the service and the repair and the reliability of those very, very high. Because if the Tesla charge network is down, Tesla customers see that as Tesla's fault.
Right.
Right? Whereas if you buy a Ford and the Electrify America network is fucked up or the EVgo network is fucked up, you're not blaming Ford. You're blaming these other companies. And the other companies can then go back and blame the automaker. And so there's this cop out, right? And so it is a complicated problem to make a charger work for all different types of cars. So, all right, fine, that's a complicated problem. What's not a complicated problem is credit card processing. Gas pumps have been doing it for 25 years.
Right.
It's not complicated. So the fact that doesn't work is a bitch. Now, Ford has a system, and I think other car companies do, called Plug and Charge. And Plug and Charge is where, through the Ford app on your phone, you connect your credit card, which then connects to the car, which then connects to the chargers. So if I go to EVgo or Electrify America, in theory, all I do is plug the car into the charger, it recognizes my payment, and I don't have to deal with the card reader, in theory. In practice, it works about half the time.
Well, see, this is the problem, though.
Yeah, it is a problem.
People don't think that much. They don't want to think that
much.
No,
they
right?
don't. They don't.
So in our Tesla, we hit charge, and it takes us there. You plug it in, you get charged. That's how it should work.
It is.
In the other cars, you get this confusing list of chargers. You're not sure which ones are fast or not, and you've got all these problems. The net result of that is cars are sitting on dealership lots.
Yeah.
People aren't willing to go for that ride.
Right. And here's the thing.
And when I talk to my neighbors, I'm like, look, the only game in town is still Tesla. It's the only game. Elon, our feelings about him aside, it's still a better car for a person like you. Like I was talking to a fellow last night out in the tennis court, and he's asking me, he's quite like, what is this car? That's still where most people are. What is a Tesla? He goes, yeah, but I couldn't drive this to Mammoth. And I said, yeah, they're all-wheel drive. You put all-season tires on it. You put in your destination in Mammoth. It's going to tell you the 3 places along the way automatically to stop in for how long. It's all figured out for you.
Ford does that too now.
Right.
Yeah, they have that too.
But they don't have the charging network.
Correct. Now, the question is, once they convert to the NACS, a.k.a. the Tesla plug, will that come with the supercharger reliability? That remains to be seen. A lot of people are just assuming that it will. I am skeptical because now we're asking the Tesla chargers to talk to all these cars and not just Teslas.
Right.
And so...
But I think they'll figure it out. They seem like a company that will go, all right, it's not working, but let's go to work. Let's figure this out.
They
and
may.
2 weeks later, you get an update or something works.
They may. But it's not a given is what I'm saying. I hope it works.
No, I get it.
I don't want people to have bad charging experiences. I don't. I want them to have good charging experiences. But all I'm saying is that
what is a good charging experience?
yeah. I mean, plugging it in, having it recognize your payment through your car, it shouldn't be that hard.
Do you know how good Tesla is? And then we'll end this electric car chat. I have a charger at my house, and I love to go to the charging stations in Santa Monica and the Palisades and sit for 20 minutes. The thing I like, the super juiced. I like that it charges up in 20
Well,
minutes.
that's just weird. Why don't
and
you
then
just plug it in
I watch
overnight?
a little Netflix because it's a moment to kind of decompress and roll emails and make
Are you
calls.
a former cigarette smoker?
No comment.
Yeah. We need the, I can
But I
relate.
just mean-
I need the 5-minute break sometimes. I get
I
it.
would rather sit in that lot. They tend
Yeah.
to be in nicer places than the weirdness of Electrify America, which is at the A&P out back
Sure.
by the dumpster.
Yeah, they did make better property deals, but I will say that I've probably charged my Ford in the 3 years I've had it 10 times or less in the public charging network.
Right.
I charge it my home charger once a week overnight, and I've never had a problem doing that, and that is convenient. So like, we are talking about a problem that for many adopters at this point is a once in a while kind of situation.
Right.
And I hope it works. I fucking hope it works. I don't want people to have a bad experience. And if somebody wants to buy a Tesla and it fits their lifestyle, like, great. As long as you don't think it drives itself, enjoy. I just don't want to make the assumption.
I let my car drive myself.
You shouldn't.
I
It's
love
very
it.
dangerous.
I love it. It makes my life so good.
I hope it doesn't fucking crash you into somebody, because guess whose fault it'll be?
It doesn't.
Yours.
No, I babysit it like you should. It is one of the greatest things. I mean, I'm trying to think where I was driving today. I was like, I can't believe this car is driving itself through this. I had it, and
It is right up until it's
I
not.
can't believe anybody would not pay attention. And there were several points where I'm like, okay, car, I'm not letting you do this. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to see, because you get to know where the goalposts are. It's like cruise control. We've talked about this a million times. You don't just turn on cruise control and take a nap,
Yeah.
because you'll run right into the car in front of you unless you have adaptive cruise control. But it makes my life so good. Like, we have these weekend lacrosse games in Torrance. So 4 o'clock to 4:05.
Oh yeah, for on traffic in the 405, those systems are great.
Right.
I
Erica's
used,
not there. I can't get her car. I'm stressing out. My leg hurts from the clutch or whatever. I got the Tesla. She's coming along. I turn it on. It drives us there. I just babysit.
I
love
used
it.
Cadillac's Super Cruise
Theirs
going
is
out
great.
to Palm Springs.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
excellent. It's an excellent system.
Yep.
I really, especially in traffic, it works great.
Johnny said it's better.
It is better. I believe it's better.
Yeah, yeah.
It's incredibly intuitive, and it knows where it's safe and where it's not safe to
And
use.
what is that? LiDAR and radar, the addition of it? Or-
It's radar and cameras, and then the vehicle itself doesn't have LiDAR, but Cadillac has mapped that individual road using LiDAR. So they have gone out and physically mapped those roads with the very advanced.
So it's just highways that you use this.
It's just highways. Yes.
We're going to do a show in a self-driving car. The Waymo guys.
The Waymo one?
Yeah, they're going to
Okay.
let us plug in Musso and Frank's or some other restaurant, and we're all going to sit in there and hopefully not die.
All right.
It's gonna
Or
drive us
run
there.
over a woman and drag her 20 feet like in San Francisco, like Cruz did.
You know,
Cruz, you saw that? Cruz got their license taken away to test humanless.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
However, horrible things happen on the road all day with people driving cars, like times 5,000 to that
Sure.
one incident.
Sure.
That's how I.
But
that's
yeah,
how I
but
think.
humans have to be forgiven for mistakes, whereas a
Right.
machine is only knows what it's been programmed to do. So
kill.
every fuck up is actually a systematic fuck up with a
Right.
machine,
Yeah.
as opposed to a human that is fallible. Know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay. Read the ad, Spike.
I don't want to. We don't have to do an ad yet. We're going to do questions in a minute, but I want to hear about your car world. What else? Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Last time you were on, you had a new storage facility out in Gardenia.
Yes.
Where are we at?
Well, we're at about
Are we
30.
open?
Yeah, open in July. We're at about 30% occupancy. We've had a couple events down there. It's
I
really
saw.
fun. We worked with Brecky Car Club and Manhattan Beach Cars and Coffee.
And how has
there.
it been different than your expectation?
It's been different. Well, it's a different type of customer so far that's going down there. Not only from a location perspective, but a slightly different budget. It's a lower price point, that facility. So far, people aren't using the cars as much down there. They seem to be using that facility for more long-term storage as opposed to this one where we have a lot of regular in and outs. But I'm very happy with the building. I'm happy with my staff. I think we're filling it up at an appropriate pace. I'm impatient. You know what I mean? We've been open 3.5, 4 months. We're at 30% occupancy. That is good. That should be considered good. But I want to be full like yesterday.
Right.
And so I am impatient, and I need to learn patience better.
You were going to have, I remember you showed me there was going to be a live podcasting area out back.
We are working on that.
Yeah.
That's like the next
event
phase, the next phase of it. The other building that I own next door, we just started renovating, and so that's going to be like a year. Wow. And so we'll have 75 more cars over there. But yeah, if you're in the South Bay or Manhattan Beach, or Redondo Beach, Hermosa Beach, or Hawthorne, Gardena, by all means, hit us up at WCCS.com.
Long-term storage. I mean, I was telling you, you and I were texting about that fella that wanted to put cars at Santa Monica Airport.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. And the guy who's reaching out to me, he's like, yeah, he's got like, 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And I said,
what we're
Matt
popular?
Farah is made for this situation. Yeah. He's made for this situation.
You know what we're getting a lot of is people who live on the opposite coast. They live in New York. They're going to fly in. They're going to use their car for a couple weeks. Then they're going to fly home.
That's perfect.
It's perfect because they don't need to pay the premium to be here in Playa Vista. They can save a couple $100. They can be down there and have access to all the same services, but the 5 minutes, 10 minutes drive difference when they land to go pick up their car, who cares?
Well, as we started off this podcast, things are getting too expensive here anyway. So people are looking for deals.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Back in the day when I've been down Santa Monica Airport, I think 22 years now. And it was really far away from where I lived in Hollywood. So Saturday was my car switch day. And I loved the drive. I just picked a time when there was no traffic, and I noodle down Sunset, either early Saturday morning or into Saturday evening, and switch a car. It was like a thing.
Yeah.
You do the same thing with yours.
We
just have
those
a designated day that you do this drive, and it's fun.
And did you saw the Acura NSX I bought?
Yeah.
The beautiful car. So I had full engine out service at Evasive Motorsports, like the major service. I got HRE wheels on it, and I did the full paint protection film, nose to tail, every surface.
Wow.
And I finally got it back. I drove it to San Diego for Rancho Santa Fe Cars and Coffee, which is a haul, but it's a great it's a great Cars and Coffee. I really recommend it. It's a nice drive early in the morning. It's almost like a Carmel vibe down there with that Cars and Coffee. And the next day, me and my friend Christian Hand, we're gonna go to Malibu. We're gonna go take a ride up the hill. This was on Sunday. And I don't know if you were out and about this past Sunday.
I was not.
But the Santa Ana winds.
Oh, yeah. No, I was playing tennis in that mess.
It was
bad.
A disaster.
Yes.
And my car just got blasted with everything.
Yeah.
Rocks and sticks and tumbleweeds. And that paint protection film, I shit you not, saved me from a $50,000 repaint of the whole car.
Yeah.
I mean, just... I have to have my driver's side wheels repolished because they pitted the brand new chrome, and I have to have my windshield cut.
Yeah.
Like diamond polished on the windshield because it like peppered the surface of the windshield. So and I ran over like a stick that punched a hole in my tire and I had to replace a tire. So like this one drive, I've had this car. This was like the first day, and this car just gets jacked up, and so now I'm playing recovery.
You know, in this GT4 RS, I've been thinking about for the first time putting some sort of protection on there.
I cannot recommend it highly enough.
Because of how the air moves through the car and the holes in the fenders and that, you know, and
those side scoops hoover up gravel.
Correct.
Yeah.
And off the front, you know, that little fender is cut out there. There's carbon fiber there. It sends rocks and air all the way along the side.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't always do it on vintage cars. My NSX, the paint was so perfect and the miles were so low that I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. With a brand new car, with my Spider, absolutely, I did it from delivery, and I really cannot recommend that highly enough. I mean, the one day.
Who did it?
405 Motoring here in Inglewood, but our buddy Anthony can do it too. GT4 RSs are expensive because there's a lot of small little panels. About 9,000.
Wow,
expensive.
That's really expensive.
Yeah, because the GT4 RS particular with all the scoops, and all the individual small panels, like your Model Y, for example, would probably be like 3,500 because it's big flat panels, but the 4RSs in particular, because we've done a couple of them here. They're expensive.
Wow.
Yeah. My Spider was expensive too, but worth it. I mean...
Maybe I'll just buy a Carcoon.
No, it's fine when you're sitting there.
And throw cue balls
it's when you're
at
driving,
it,
man.
and sticks, and just have them bounce off.
But it makes me feel good. You know, with the film, I'll lean on the car and I won't care. You know, I'll throw my jacket on there. I'll eat off it. And this level of comfort.
Well, I'm just going to beat the crap out of this car without a film
do that
on it.
Too.
We won't have it long enough, I don't think, but I love that car. I drove it here.
It's
I was
a lovely
hoping your
car.
Spider would be here so we could take a picture of both
I'm
cars.
sorry, it's at the other shop. We had to sell all the spaces here, so I had to move my shit down south.
You know, it's the best thing I can say about this car is, you know, I had to turn my Defender in. And I was supposed to get a Bronco
what happened
Heritage
to that?
Limited Edition. Well, there was an automotive strike that just got settled. So they reached out today, and it's in process.
Okay.
And then I was getting a Subaru Crosstrek for my son, which I thought, of course, that'll be on the lot. Just send one over.
But no?
No, they said, no, we want to build you one. So I still don't have that. So I'm...
Why do they need to build you one? Was there some... They come in like 4 colors. What is there to build?
Apparently, they're popular.
Okay.
And but it's supposed to come this week. So I was like, I'll just drive the Subaru, and then when the strike's over, I'll get the Ford. I have neither of those things, so I'm dailying the GT4 RS, which I also don't want to do because I just don't want to put empty miles on it. But the nice thing I'm going to say about this car is every time I do a drive, I like coming here, but it's not the nicest drive in rush hour traffic.
Yeah,
every time I get in it, I'm so happy. It's so easy to drive.
It is.
In traffic.
Yeah.
I'm driving like 35 miles an hour, just loving life, and I'm so happy I brought it today. And then I'm off to go play tennis in it after this. And
It's a very nice car.
It's a very nice thing.
Yeah.
And
They're
on the way here, I
spacious
called Zuckerman up and I said, "Hey, what can I take out of your hangar? I need something for the next 7 days." He goes, "Take the BMW M5."
That'll be fun.
I got to drive downtown and the rest of it, but I'm not. I'm going to take the GT4. I'm going to stay in it.
All right.
I'm happy.
Does it have nose lift?
Yeah,
It does? Oh,
and it
that's
works very, very well.
Yeah, it's fast,
nose lift
right?
on everything. Nose lift on everything.
I don't think nose lift was available on my Spider. If it was, I would have taken it, but I didn't get it.
It's there's no way to drive around LA without
I
needing
know.
that.
The MC20's got it. I'm using it like 3 times every drive. I got this MC20 Cielo
I just used it 20 times.
You know where you don't need it? The driveway of West Side Collector Car Storage. Because I designed it that way.
I lifted it anyways.
Didn't need to. Makes you feel better, have at it, but you certainly don't need to. You come in this driveway at 60 miles an hour, hot. You're not bottoming out.
When did we start?
We've been recording for 43 minutes.
Okay. Just tell me about the MC20 and then I'll do an ad. It's
what
beautiful.
I love.
It's a Spider,
it's
right?
gorgeous. It's the Cielo, which is not only a retractable hardtop, but it's got an electrochromic roof. So you press a button and it goes from frosted glass to clear glass, which is pretty awesome.
The roof does.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
And the roof, it's a convertible too at the same time.
Yes.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah, and it's a carbon tub.
How much is this thing?
This one is expensive. It's $340,000. Wow. Really expensive.
Still not so bad for what looks like.
It's 2/3 of the price of a Ferrari 296. So it's more expensive than a Huracan, cheaper than a 296. Right. It looks fantastic. And if I was, it's not. You know what I love about it? I love that it's set up for the street. It's not GT4 RS. Love it. Amazing car. Can drive it all day on the street if you want. But it's obviously a track-oriented car, right? It won't let you forget that. This is a street-oriented car. So it rides, honestly, I think as well as a McLaren 720. The cabin is beautifully laid out, easy to use for everyday stuff. The controls are normal. It's not like a Ferrari where they put all this confusing shit on the steering wheel and you have to relearn how to operate everything. Blinkers are blinkers. Things are buttons. Like, it's pretty straightforward. There's no learning curve. And it's fast. It's 630 horsepower. It goes like hell. It's got paddle shifters and a dual clutch and all that stuff. But it's so clearly set up to be just used as a car. And so when you just use it as a car, it's fantastic. And so I really like that that's where Maserati has placed this, as this sort of dailyable supercar that's not so track oriented that it becomes, a pain.
Negatives? Cons? What
The negatives, the part of the bodywork that pops up for the roof to go under on this particular one, the panel gaps are a little big. That kind of bothers me. It's a twin turbo V6, which sounds good but not great. And the touch screen is a little slow to respond, particularly when you first power the car up.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember it being a very likable thing, though.
It's extremely likable.
It's beautiful. People seem to like to look at it. The exterior styling is just gorgeous.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I remember it just, overall, 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I would drive it.
It's fantastic. As an everyday supercar, it's fantastic.
Very easy to drive.
I had it parked in the driveway last night. The trick-or-treaters were coming up.
Yeah.
All freaking out on the car, and some of them were annoyed that we were giving out little candy and not big candy bars.
Oh, right.
They were like, "Look at that car! You're not giving out big candy bars." I'm like, "Oh man!"
I always know I have a cool car when I drive by the little elementary school at the end of my street, and weirdly, and I had all the sound off. There was no reaction on the playground when I drove the 4RS through.
Really?
Yeah. I drive a Lamborghini. It's, oh my God.
Yeah, maybe they hear you coming. Maybe they just don't hear the 4RS in quiet mode.
There's nothing more popular with kids than Lamborghinis.
Yeah,
Lamborghinis are the thing if you want to impress.
Sure. Well, it's a child's car. It's an adult child's car too.
It's a child's car.
It is.
I don't like taking my multivitamins in the morning. Matt knows that.
I don't, but I take them anyway.
I used to have to just get up and I'm brushing my teeth and I'd open the drawer to the left and there's all these jars of vitamins and I take this and I run out of one. Now it's all AG1. 1 scoop in water is all I do. Prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes for gut support, magnesium, B vitamins for energy support, and adaptogens balance my body's stress levels, vitamin C and zinc to help support my immune system. People are always saying, what do you do? Why do you still have hair? You're really old. AG1 could be a contributing factor. Are you dyeing your hair? I am not, but I am drinking AG1. And I have recommended it to my family and my wife, who you've met, who doesn't like anything. Took the box. She looked at the ingredients. She said, I'm going to try this. And now every day there's a dirty AG1 bottle in the sink, which I clean for her.
I got the orange flavored one. I like that.
There's an orange flavor?
Yeah, they have one that's got an orange flavor.
Oh, man. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? If you're not into the green, the orange. Yeah. Wow, I'm going to switch to that. I had no idea. Why isn't that in my notes?
It might not be the main one. It might be like a sidebar supplement one. But they definitely have an orange powder drink.
AG1 is the supplement the Ferristons trust to provide support for their bodies and their daily needs. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/spike911. That's drinkag1.com/spike911. Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You got questions from the people?
We've got questions. I have not vetted any of them.
Sweet.
So if they suck, But I have this nice picture of you with the Dakar, which is
That is a good picture. Thank you
getting a
for
lot of
choosing
buzz.
such a nice picture. Appreciate that. Love the Dakar. We've got one
It got
here.
a lot of likes for just a questions post. That's how good of a picture
All right.
it is.
Dakar in Morocco. That's a good.
And the Dakar is getting a lot of buzz all of a sudden. We had kind of looked down our nose at it, and then I was over with Leno. And he's like, "That car's one of the greatest cars I've
They're
seen."
pretty rad,
Jerry's
yeah.
like, "I got to get a Dakar last week." He's getting one.
I think Segura's getting one too.
Apparently, they're
Yeah,
pretty
they're rad.
You like them?
Yeah, they're rad.
Damn it!
And I like the Sterrato. Did you get a Sterrato press car?
The Lamborghini.
The Lamborghini one?
Look, who's your Lamborghini rep? What's her name?
I don't want to say, but you know who it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the
She's
same.
not
the
returning
same.
my calls. I keep saying, where is the Lamborghini? I had made a press request for a Lamborghini maybe 6 months ago that they weren't happy about.
Oh,
And I said, okay, well, we don't have to do that.
Okay.
This just wasn't on brand for them.
Okay.
But come on.
yeah.
I like Lamborghinis.
Well, they won't come to you. You got to go to them.
I've gone to them over.
right.
I can
Well,
show
we'll
you
talk
the text
about it
thread.
after the show,
All right,
but
I'm going to text.
You should try to get a Sterrato because it's rad. And the Dakar is also rad. Off-road sports cars as a thing are awesome. If you think the GT4 RS is fun to drive around LA in, you should try a Sterrato because the ride is amazing.
I want to.
yeah.
Oh, now it's depressing.
Sorry, I'll reconnect you after the show. The main Lamborghini woman. This is a little inside baseball.
Okay.
The main Lamborghini woman.
Yes.
Left Lamborghini.
Oh,
About 6-7 months ago.
that could be the problem.
Her initials are JC.
Oh, yeah.
She left. She's not at Lamborghini anymore.
Oh, boy.
So we need to reconnect you with the new person.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that might be that might be a thing. You might be email. Oh, you know what I'm doing while you're looking for a question?
I've got
Next
a
week
question.
I'm going to Vegas me and Henry Catchpole are the only journalists that get to drive the F1 track at speed. I'm going with Aston Martin. I get to do it in a DBX 707.
Wow.
But I
love that car.
I love it too. I get a
SUV.
20-minute session, okay, by myself, not lead follow,
Yeah.
at 1:06 a.m.
Wow.
right after qualifying. So the track's going to be hot.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it'll be good.
This
Good
is
times.
the F1 race.
Yeah, I'm not even staying for the race. I don't care. I just want to drive the
Totally
track.
forgot about the F1
Yeah,
race.
right? What do you got?
All right, here we go. From JStamp71. How difficult is it really to get an allocation for a non-GT Porsche sports car? I'm a first-timer, no dealer relationship, realistic option, someone else's build on the used market. What do I do? That's for us.
I don't really know because I've only ever bought one brand new Porsche.
Look,
I think for like a Carrera, I don't think it's that hard.
it is.
Is it?
It is.
Okay.
I've been getting calls from friends and famous friends going, I need this. And I go, really? You can't get that? And they're being held up by the various dealers here in LA. And I send them down to Porsche Clearwater, and they have a car in about a week, or they have an allocation. So, I mean,
I would say go outside of Los Angeles, but I don't know where this person is writing from.
well, here's what we've learned through our friendship and our relationship with Porsche Clearwater. It's the same deal. There's some different emissions standards, like we have to get cars smogged when they're brought in from Florida, but the car is ordered through that dealer and then it arrives here, and there you go. There's just a little bit of an extra wrinkle sometimes with registration, but what I'm saying is pick up the phone and start calling dealers. Start going to places. Start at Porsche Clearwater if you want. But call everybody and see who has what, and go to places where you go, you know what? I bet you they don't like Porsches in that part of Virginia.
Yeah.
Really? Alabama doesn't – nobody's buying Porsches in Alabama. Or,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Start beating the bushes and find the cars.
Yeah.
Don't just go to the closest dealer.
Yeah.
Start
That's the truth with anything.
Yes,
Same with anything.
start punishing the close dealer that's not helping you out until they get the message that they need.
You were
to help
talking
you
about
out.
the Bronco earlier. I was just down in Encinitas for that Cars and Coffee, and I drove by a Ford dealer that had probably 35 Broncos sitting on the lot right there. Mm-hmm. And you could just roll up to this place, I guarantee you, and just go, yeah, that one. Sticker price, no problem.
Shifter Gated has a question. He wants to know, growing up on the East Coast, did you guys ever hit any local car jumps? Yes.
Car jumps? Yes,
The answer is
definitely.
yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, in my hometown, right down the street from one of my best friends, Tommy Chisholm's house, there was a badly made bridge, probably from the 1400s, that went straight up and then came straight down. And it was told, when you were old enough to drive, let's go do a jump over Thrill Hill. Thrill Hill. It's wide enough for one car, and you would fly over it at 40 miles an hour in your dad's Buick and land and hopefully not die. And it was a thrill.
We had
wonderful.
one of those on my street. I lived
Yeah.
on a dead-end street that was about a mile long, and my house was the last house on the street, and there was a bridge like that, and I'd say 50, 55, you'd hit it, and you could get four wheels off.
Yeah. There's that place on Instagram, too, that people are doing in downtown L.A.
Is that in L.A.? That
houses
where
too
that guy
close.
yumped that rented Tesla and just wrecked it out.
Look, you got to stop screwing around on the street. You got to stop.
Yeah.
All of you. All you guys know who I'm talking
Do
about.
not
The number of people
recommend.
getting hurt right now because it's just out of control. Let's turn that around, shall we? And when I'm governor,
Your platform
my platform is not.
is no sideshows, no jumping cars.
I'll talk to the sideshow people. But if you're driving slow in the left lane, you're dead. You're dead man
that's,
walking.
yeah, that's your platform.
Yeah.
Right.
I saw this video that somebody sent me. It could have been old. It could have been new. I think it was old because my kids made fun of me that I reposted it. But it was a guy in a motorcycle. The woman turns in front of him. He's got a camera on a selfie stick. The selfie stick lands in the car next to the woman, and she just couldn't have looked more nonplussed. She just was like, "Oh, whatever." The guy's probably dead. He went over it at 60 miles an hour over the car.
Holy
and
shit.
she's just like looking like,
Just kept
doesn't
going.
even say anything. Yeah, it goes.
That's
just
crazy.
kept going. But the camera's looking down at her like this, and you're just like,
How do you get the camera back?
good question. She must have stopped.
She put it on YouTube.
If she was smart.
She got the camera back.
She would have done
I
that.
ran over this fool.
The same BS wants to know, outside of the Seinfeld collection, and let's also say the Leno collection, what is the best personal collection of cars you have seen?
Ralph Lauren.
I would second that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
I have seen
You
it, and
seen
it is fucking crazy.
I have seen it, and they're
Crazy.
amazing.
Not in terms of volume, in terms of the
Stuff.
The stuff.
Bruce
The stuff.
Meyer is another one here.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce has probably 12 cars, which, again, volume would not impress, but every one of his
Quality,
cars is
yeah.
the ultimate one-upping car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce might only be able to be one-upped by Ralph. Or like...
Ralph, I would say, has to be a little better. The GTO is in that collection, Ralph Lauren's
his
collection.
3 McLaren F1s, including an LM.
Yeah, again, but number isn't it, but it's it's
3
what's there.
McLaren F1s, including I
know.
and not just the GTO, but one of every Ferrari that raced at Le Mans from 58 to 66.
There's a GTO going up for sale.
I
With
saw. It's a standalone auction.
Yeah.
It's not like, and now lot number 342. It's like the whole auction is
I'm
the GTO.
going to make a prediction right now.
Think
That
it's
is
going
going
to 100?
to sell.
It's going to go 100?
Probably in the $80,000 to $90,000 at least. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
I think that could go over $100,000. That car.
What do you think
What
the
year is
opening
it?
bid? What year is the GTO?
No, I'm joking.
I think it's...
I don't even want to fathom a guess. Look, I remember talking to Donald Osborne about the GTO market, and he thought this was 2 years ago. $110,000 was not unrealistic when art was selling for prices like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to guess. I have gone on record about the Wolf of Wall Street Lamborghini. That car is going to blast over $2 million into
The crashed one or the uncrashed one? Because now they're both going for
They're
auction.
both going up?
It was announced yesterday, the crashed one. As
screws,
crashed.
That screws up my whole prediction.
Pre-auction estimate 1.5.
Is it the same auction?
Don't know.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I
I
would-
think I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't send them both in the same auction.
No. Well, that screws up everything.
Yeah. But
That's too much.
they've got the non-crashed and they've got the crashed, and they're
What are you
both
doing
going.
with the crashed one? That seems...
Sticking it in your living room.
No, that's a bad idea.
The problem is if you fix it, if you fix it, it's not the thing
Yeah,
anymore.
but you're talking about a movie prop
Yeah.
as opposed to a collectible car that was
Right.
featured. And these are the only two existing cars?
They're the two that were used in the movie.
Which one is the one where he's crawling out of the country club?
Not crashed.
That's the car.
That's the not crashed.
The one.
But the crashed one was crashed in the movie. You watch it get crashed.
Yeah, but that's not the one you want.
All right.
You want the one where he crawls out on all sorts of drugs, so you can do that yourself. Crawling out of your house.
Take a couple lemon 714s. Yeah.
You want to do that? You want to drive this thing and go, guess what I'm driving?
I saw that car at the Quail. They had it there. It's historically very funny. It is clearly a movie example because it is rough. It's scruffy.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's not.
It's one of the most iconic car scenes of our generation.
Yeah.
What's better than that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, that will throw a monkey wrench into your prediction for sure.
CKMMD wants his tennis question. What rackets are you rocking these days? Well, I'd like to spend a lot of time on this, my friend, but this is a car podcast. But I like the Babolat Pure Sport. I've gone back to the Pure Drive. Sorry.
I picture you with one of those racket bags that has a rack of like 15 rackets.
Exactly.
In it.
No, 6. I have to. Yes. I'm constantly buying rackets, but I have bought the. I seek out the 2018 Pure Drive from 2018. This is a real car guy.
Yeah.
Watch conversation.
It is a real. Yeah. What's a good racket going for these days? $200-$300?
Yeah, 300, okay. And then I have to restring them and redo everything to them. And I also have the brand new Pure Drive 98, which is a slightly smaller head and easier to whip around with a nice grip on it that's sweat proof. So I have those, and then I have Pure Strike VSs that I use when my arms hurt from the gym.
When I used to work at Champ Sports in high school, I would string rackets. That was part of my job description.
Are you a good stringer?
I was when I was 18. I haven't done it in a while. I'd love to try again.
I have
it was a fun way to pass the time.
When
though.
you find a good stringer, you're tight with this guy.
I never got any complaints.
I text my guy all the time. His name is Alex, and I'm like, I need to come in. I need to win. I need to feel confident. I'm going right after this. This is why I'm dressed like a fool right now. I'm going to play tennis with a grown man that I just met a week ago out in the Palisades. And I said, "Are you addicted to tennis?" And he went, "Yes." I go, "So am I." Yeah, he goes, "Okay, Monday, 2 hours." I go, "Fantastic. 3 hours maybe?"
I'd love to come play a little bit. I haven't played in a while.
You play tennis?
I can, and I'm good at paddle tennis, not pickleball, actual paddle tennis. And I used to be very good at tennis when I was a kid.
I'll hit with you anytime.
All right. I need to use one of your rackets, though.
I'll give you 2 of my rackets and some extra crap.
All right.
I'm what's known as a racket whore. I just gave away 3 the other day.
All right, cool. I'll take the next round of
But I can't keep weight on. I'm playing tennis so much. No. Like I'm having to eat like a fool.
I wish I had that problem.
You look great.
I'm working on it.
We saw a picture of you the other day and thought, Matt Farah, Zuckerman had some of the worst diarrhea he's ever had. He lost like 40 pounds. Woo! Johnny's losing weight. We saw a picture of you. I said, this is the first time the entire field of SCR guys
we're all focused.
Is focused.
We're all focused except one person who had diarrhea. He was focused on
lost
shitting.
His appendix.
Oh, yeah.
And
did he shit it out?
He's lucky he did not die because we've now, as we look back to this, and I say we because he's my best friend, one of my best friends, he's been dealing with this since April and ignoring it.
Oh.
April.
Yeah, that's not good.
His appendix, so we looked at his sutures, were bigger holes than mine. And I said, why are they so big? He goes, it was the size of a Cinnabon.
Oh, shit.
No lie. That's what the doctor said. It looked like a big ass Cinnabon.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to the doctor if you're not feeling good, people.
Yeah, you die. You get septic.
Yeah.
Have you seen the iconic Mazda SP?
Yeah.
Sleeve VB, iconic concept car.
It looks cool.
What do you think?
I think it was a very pretty car that's got elements of some other cars in it that I like, elements of Miata, elements of, I can't picture it right now, but I talked about it on my show. But in general, it was a very pretty looking car.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of cool stuff suddenly.
Yeah, that Tokyo Motor Show was,
there's
some cool stuff going on over there.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
The Kurt May, what's appealing to you guys about the Moon Swatch collection? Take a look. Horse strap, and
I mean, that looks very nice.
This is for tennis.
There's nothing appealing about it to me, but I'm not.
You hate it.
I'm
I
not.
love it.
I don't hate it. I just, it's not for me.
I'm using this because it's light on my wrist when I
sure.
hit tonight, and I can keep an eye on the time so I get home in time to not get yelled at.
That's fine. I'm not going to argue with you.
It has inspired my new watch that I'm working on, that I've showed you some pictures. You're the only person who's seen them.
I liked it. I thought it looked cool.
Don't say anything.
I won't say anything other than I think it looks cool.
Yeah, it's going to be affordable. It's going to be easy, and you're going to be able to wear it. I wanted something that you could wear in the gym, on the tennis court, and then wear during the day and not feel bad about, and then buy 6 of them, you know?
I mean, that's what I say. That's why I buy Richard Mille. It's exactly those reasons. Tennis court, gym, 6 of them.
Those are too expensive.
That's why I have Richard Mille.
If you've ever worn... I wore a Zenith on the tennis court, and you get hurt. The metal hurts you.
The weight is not good.
The weight is not good. You need something. You need that Horace strap, the silicone strap.
That's an elastic, though, right? That's silicone or elastic?
That's
a one-piece elastic?
Yeah, elastic like NATO. That's the 4 sizes. You have to know your size. But
I like that, though. That's good. That's a good strap. I like when you have the elastic without the extra material there.
There's more questions about your garage, but Brodog wants to know: is there cigar lounge? Where are we at with the cigar lounge down at your new place?
The new place, I mean, where you and I recorded that podcast on those brown couches, like people smoke cigars there. But I'm building out the actual lounge at the other building. We're probably 18 months from that.
Wow.
So
that's exciting.
You will be able to smoke cigars in where the cars are, which is what people wanted.
Wow.
Here, we couldn't do that, but at the new place we can.
You know, we talked about doing a live event at the Peterson and what that would look like, and I said it's got to have booze and cigars, and they said, well, we can do one of those things. Yeah. And I was like, well,
we can.
I want both.
We can do it as long as we have we need like an alcohol, like a vendor. We bring in a vendor.
That's fine.
That has a license.
The cigar smoking alone is fine for me.
Yeah. We can do both. We just need to make sure we have an approved vendor. That's all. It's not hard. Just hire somebody.
JPK Barbecue wants to know, Matt Farah, what is the watch equivalent of a Miata? And that's a funny question.
The watch equivalent of a Miata? Mm-hmm. I would say like the Seiko 5, entry-level Seiko, Japanese, affordable, but you could buy one and wear it every day for the rest of your life, and it will serve you very well.
There you go. Jay Auerbach, will we ever get a Super Speeders director's cut on Blu-ray?
There's
what is he talking about?
Super Speeders was a DVD series followed by a YouTube series produced by Rob Ferretti, my friend in New Jersey. What's funny about questions like that is that it assumes that we were holding back the good footage, which, trust me, you've seen the good footage goes in the DVD. It goes on the videos. There is no director's cut. It's what you saw was what happened. So it doesn't exist. Sorry.
Matt, do you ever get tired or feel like you need a break from test cars? Meaning after the test drive, you don't know what to say or write. Either the car is just as good as it is supposed to be or just does what it's meant to do.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate in that I don't have to drive like regular cars. Most of the cars I drive are really enthusiast-focused cars where I have something to say about them, or they're extreme in some way or interesting in some way. I think if I was one of the very many good people who wrote for like Edmunds or Car and Driver and had to drive like the new Camry or the new Hyundai Accent or the new, whatever, and you're writing about trunk space and value and stuff like that may get tedious and boring. But I'm driving a $340,000 Maserati with a carbon tub, so I'm not over it yet. I will say that I do get over the process of making videos, which can be tedious and annoying, but I don't get over the cars.
C. Chichester. What weird names. I guess that must make sense to him. Maybe it's Chris Chickachester, Chick Molester, something. Have you guys seen the new Ferrari movie trailer? Yes.
I have, yes.
And will you watch in December? Yes.
Yes, definitely.
2 yeses.
Have you seen the Lamborghini movie?
No, I'm not going to watch it.
It is brutally bad.
Unless they will send me the Storato, I will watch it.
I don't think Lamborghini was involved in the making of this movie, and it was trash.
There are a lot of questions about the Dakar. The Dakar is having a moment.
That's what happens when you put the photo up with the Dakar. People want to know about the Dakar.
Right. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
You
Missed
opened
that.
you opened the door, sir.
Well, it's a likable car. And
You know
I
what
think
all those people can do is go watch my video about the Dakar on the Smoke and Tire YouTube channel or read my written review for Road and Track.
Miss PVer 8020, how is your show ranking in the UK? I don't know. And any updates on the Unfrosted movie? Yeah, but I can't share them. Not until the strike is over.
Oh, right, yeah. When there is a premiere, am I going to get an invite?
Whatever you want.
I want to come. I want to come to the premiere. I want to see it. I want to see the movie.
I better schedule a premiere. But yeah, there's news coming, and we'll let you know when.
And will Pop-Tarts be served in the concession stands at the premiere?
That's a given, right?
Yeah, of course.
They have. We've discovered while we were making that movie, there was a bunch of like gourmet Pop-Tart makers around LA and out in Malibu.
Yeah.
There's that place at Trancas that serves like a gourmet Pop-Tart like thing that's so good.
Yeah.
So
good.
good.
You can gourmet up a Pop-Tart and make it pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear about I can't remember the name, this new Korean bagel place in Koreatown?
No.
That's like fucking killing these bagels.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the name?
I can't remember. I'm
Courage
sorry.
Bagels
I
is
can't
on my
remember.
destination
This place,
wish list.
They cut them open. They cut them like you'd cut a pizza, and
Yeah.
then they sort of fold them open and shove cream cheese in the cracks. It's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Blanking on the name, but it seems amazing. Asians doing bagels, I love it. Love it.
Anybody can do anything as long as it's good. Just make it good.
No, but that Asian food sensibility brought to the Jews, I am so fucking here for that.
Walking the tightrope of what's acceptable.
I think that's a compliment towards Asians, and I am a Jew, and I think that's okay.
It's all okay. Everything is okay.
It's all okay. Give
Okay,
me your cancelable take. We're at 110, Spike. Do you care?
Last question.
Okay.
And then I got to go to the tennis court.
Yeah. 60608.
And win.
Murder.
What car fits each of your pets? What car matches your cat? Just do your favorite cat. What car?
Well, oh boy, that's really interesting. That's a very interesting one.
And he's asking Gopher's personality. Like he's got a good personality, but what car would I put Gopher in? This is a really tough question.
Yeah. Well, my girl Nikki, who is named after Niki Lauda, I suppose would have to go in a Ferrari, but she's very soft and very luxurious. And so it would have to be one of Ferrari's like GT cars, not like a hardcore race car. So maybe like a 400 Super America or 400 Super Fast.
Yes.
Or like a 250 Lusso, like a very luxurious Ferrari. I think that's probably would match her.
Yes. And Gopher, a friendly beast. Small, but meek at times. But very obedient.
Small, meek, obedient.
And can sit on he sits like a human when we eat dinner on his little pad. He sits upright like this. He can do it for like
cute.
10 straight minutes.
That's pretty
just
cute.
waiting for a little food. I would say cute, right?
Yeah, meek,
Maybe
obedient,
the Nissan Figaro. Is that what that thing is?
Oh, yeah, Figaro, yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah.
Taupey colored. That's his perfect set of wheels.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
That's a random pull, the Figaro. It's a good one.
That's Gopher.
Yeah.
He's a random pull.
Yeah, I mean, a dog that sits on their hind legs and is very obedient.
We hit the lottery with that guy.
Or maybe
He's
like a
not
Volkswagen Cabrio,
Yeah.
right?
He was, when we adopted him, he was one of those pound dogs. What do they call them?
Yeah.
And this lady said, this dog is so great. I'm looking at it. It's like matted fur. It smelled like whiz. And it's like, what is she seeing? And sure enough, she was right.
Yeah.
What a great
my
thing.
My neighbor across the street is 86 years old, and her dog died last year, and she adopted a new dog, and it's a 2-year-old pit bull. And the dog is very sweet, but basically made of energy and muscle, and so she can't like walk it. So Hannah and I walk this dog every day, and just all the energy.
Well, I just got a text from my friend. He canceled tennis.
No way, really?
Looks like I'm headed home.
Looks like we're doing 40 more minutes of radio.
Unless you want to play.
I've already done 2 workouts today, actually, but I would like to come play some tennis.
Right.
I would come play.
some other time.
My knees can hold up. I think. Where can we go play?
Anywhere, wherever you want.
I don't know. I mean, there's a
tons of
court
places.
across the street over here.
Whatever you got.
All right.
You got
Can
a
we
court?
go? Don't you have a famous friend who has a tennis court? We could borrow their court.
Who's that?
I thought you had a famous friend who had a tennis court that you
Moise.
use. No, it wasn't Moise. He's not famous. It was.
Oh, Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
No, they kicked us off that court.
they
and he's
did?
not my friend. No, I don't know him. He was
Oh.
really nice to let us play. That's where it all began. But
Yeah.
eventually we were there too much.
I played tennis in Madonna's court once.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my buddy was Madonna's estate manager.
Yeah.
And she was like out on tour or something.
Yeah.
And he was literally living in her pool house
Yeah.
on Sunset Boulevard. And he was like, "You want to come over and play tennis?" Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Madonna's court for sure.
My
It was
buddy
awesome.
just left a note for Rob's lovely wife and said,
Yeah.
"Look, our kids are starting to play tennis. We live nearby. Is it okay if we just showed up once a week at 9 o'clock?" And she was so sweet. We played there for a year, and it just amazing memories of just learning how to hit the damn ball.
Yeah.
And then eventually there was no one in the house at the time. Someone moved in, so we had to kind of clear
right.
out. But
Oh, shout out to Rob Reiner.
I am... Yeah, one of the original Seinfeld guys.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know him, we're part of the same clan. But no lie, tonight, instead of playing, I will be looking at the satellite map in my neighborhood and distributing.
Knocking on doors.
No, you don't knock. You write a letter.
Ah.
And my friend who did this, he said, you have to write the letter like this. You have to say, look, I live in the neighborhood. I have a 13-year-old. He plays tennis, and we're looking for a place to play once a week. And I know you're probably not going to return send me an email or return this call or call this number. But if you were open to the idea of us playing there.
That's a good move. I think it's a good move. If I got that kind of letter and had a tennis court, I would at least do you the courtesy of getting back to you.
You don't want us there. We make so much noise. And we
No, I'd say no, but I'd get back to you. I wouldn't say yes. Fuck this guy,
No,
but I'd
works.
get back
It
to
works.
you.
It
Yeah.
works. Anyway.
All right. Well, there's tennis courts in my neighborhood too.
Okay, set it up.
We could do it. I'll drop a letter in the mailbox on the way home.
Excellent.
They're like, look at this guy's got a Maserati MC20. He'll pay rent over here.
I'll hit with anybody.
All right.
I've said it a million times.
The Smoking Tire everywhere. WCCS.com if you want to store your car in LA. Thanks,
And
Spike.
I'm Spike Donovan Ferriston. Goodbye, friends.
Thanks, kids.
Thanks for listening to Spike's Car Radio. Listen to new episodes every Wednesday and be sure to subscribe. Now, I'm gonna take a nap.
You love podcasts, the stories, the laughs, the unexpected turns. But when this episode ends, the silence starts. Not anymore. Audiobooks.com turns that silence into your next great adventure. With over 450,000 titles, from bestsellers to hidden gems, your love for listening just found its new best friend. And because you already know the joy of audio, we're giving you 3 free audiobooks to start your journey. Imagine your favorite podcast, now with unlimited episodes. That's audiobooks.com. Keep the story going. Sign up for your free trial at audiobooks.com/podcastfree today. Because for podcast lovers like you, the end of an episode is just the beginning. That's audiobooks.com/podcastfree.